Hey, Raina.
Hi, Meg.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Wonderful. I spent literally, no joke, 8 hours cleaning my house today.
I mean, sometimes it's necessary. I cleaned my carpets today, and that was also the most disgusting thing ever, but also very gratifying.
Now I have to clean my carpets, and it's not going to be good.
It's not good.
I haven't shampooed them in a long time.
I do mine every couple months, and the amount of dirt that comes out of it, especially with a dog now that comes in and out of the house. Ugh.
Ugh. Why?
Why? And kids. There's a lot. I've had a lot of kids at my house over the weekend, like random children.
And it's been nice weather, so they're in and out.
And I have a trampoline, so we're officially the cool house, you know?
You are.
Okay. You want a joke?
I do.
Okay.
You're not even reading notes for this one. It's all up right.
That's right here.
In that hole between your ears.
I'm really excited about this one too. Okay, you ready?
Yep.
Why did the witch fall off of her broom?
I have no idea.
Because she didn't have any arms. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Not the witch.
A+. That was
good. I actually saw it somewhere else, and it was like,
God.
Why did Susie drop her ice cream? And they're like, why? Because she didn't have any arms. And then knock, knock, who's there? Not Susie. And so I saw it, and I was like, that's kind of bad. But I was like, oh, but I could make it a witch, and then it makes sense. Like, why'd the witch fall off her broom? Doesn't have arms. Yeah, that was partially all me.
You did good.
That's why I didn't need notes.
You did so good.
And your face when you thought about it and got it was so good.
It took me like a half a beat there.
Oh no, but it was but I feel like that's the point. Is it takes a second to register. Like she can't knock. She doesn't have arms.
And then it's like oh.
Raina, is that appropriate?
Oh.
Is it appropriate? That's you.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
It
could be worse.
Have you seen some of the podcasts that we listen to and watch? Their jokes are way worse than ours.
I mean, I feel like, yes. Okay.
We're fine.
I can joke about a no-armed witch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure, that's a thing.
Sure. Hello and welcome to Lunatic Soup, the podcast where we go into all things wild, weird, and unknown. We're your host, Meg.
And I'm Raina, ready to brew up some lunatic soup.
Let's go. Okay, so I came over to record today. It's been a minute since we recorded. I feel like we go in these spurts where we'll record a lot at once and then we'll have a while where we don't.
Yep.
But there's this new object sitting in between us. It's a bottle opener.
Well, according to my daughter, it's a snail, but I can assure you that is not a snail.
Your 9-year-old daughter came in and said, "Hey, Meg, did you see this?" I said, "Yes, child, please put it down." And she said, "Do you know what it is?" I'm like, Yes, child, it's a bottle opener." She goes, "No, it's a penis with an evil eye on it."
I mean, but she wasn't wrong.
Thank you, small child.
But this is my cousin Helen actually gave me this in my Christmas stocking. I believe it was for the podcast. And then I put it in a really safe place and forgot about it. And then I just refound it. And I made sure it came to live in the lunatic soup.
That's wonderful.
Isn't it just?
It's
just add it right in there.
Add it to
the
our
evil
collection.
Eye really does go with our theme. And also,
you asked for a glass eye. You didn't get that, but you got the
True. I'm still waiting, somebody. I need my glass eye. But also, I feel like with our topic today, a dick in a box.
What happened with our last witchy topic?
Yeah, there was a penis in a box.
Yes, and you had to feed it corn and
oats.
Yeah.
And
it just
flop around in there.
It's when you do that with your hand.
So that's what I imagine is like. Okay. Anyways, what are we drinking today?
Oh my gosh. Okay, this is from Southern Oregon. It's called Blossom Barn Cidery, and it is Passion Perry.
Yum.
Passion fruit and pear.
Those are literally two of my favorite flavored beverages things ever.
That sounds like it would be pretty sweet, but it's actually on the dry scale.
Ooh. So, I'm going to like it even more.
Yeah. We'll see. Ready?
Yep.
What is it? It's 6.6.
Okay.
We have our glasses with our little diamond ice.
That's melted because we talked for so long before we started recording.
We haven't
seen each other.
Yeah, in almost a week.
Yeah, we text all the time, but there's just a lot of random shit that has gone down of life. Just catching up. The smell is not good. But do you know what the smell smells like? Fresh passion fruit. That's what fresh. It smells like the seeds of passion fruit.
It's not my favorite.
Not my favorite either.
I had higher hopes for that. I'm gonna put some lime in it.
I don't think that's going to help it.
I'll
let you do it first. Okay, so I will tell you what this tastes like. It tastes like
pineapple-y almost.
No, it tastes like the seeds of passion fruit. So passion fruit itself is like a very like slimy texture with these big black seeds in it. And when you eat the seeds, the the pulp, like that gooey stuff is what tastes really good in it, but the seeds, that it tastes like it has the seeds in it. That's what it tastes like to me, which I don't mind it. It's not amazing.
I think the lime makes it taste better.
Let me try.
Like I can drink it now. I don't know if I could have drank the whole thing.
Agreed. It almost has like
a soured taste to it, but not like it went bad. Like, because we've definitely had a couple of those before.
it reminds me of something else. It'll probably hit me at some point. The aftertaste is a little odd, a little weird. Anyways, but you know, you win some, you lose some. They're still gonna drink it.
There was one we couldn't finish.
That was a sour one.
Was it?
Or the one not sour, but it had gone bad. Wasn't that?
Well, no, we had one that went bad, and then we had one that we couldn't drink. It was a little while ago.
Ooh, yeah. I have a
remember what
vague
it
memory
was.
of it.
I think I got it when I was in Oregon or Portland area.
Well, I have more of those mango ones. I may have been having a mango shillings when she got here, and I'm still working
I haven't
on
had
that.
a mango one in a long time.
That's a lie. We did a taste test the other day that I still have to post
Of the mango?
of all of the shilling ciders.
Oh, that's
Do you
right.
remember?
The other day, like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I know. I just didn't post it yet. I just forgot. I saw it when I was scrolling earlier. I was like, oh yeah, I haven't edited that yet.
You know what we need to do? We need to do another Lunatic Soup Presents where we watch a
No,
documentary.
I was thinking that the other day.
Yeah.
We just need to get a documentary.
Oh, I have a list of them
Okay, perfect.
that I've been
Well,
hoarding.
we just need to do it then. It's gonna have to be a weeknight or something though, because our weekends be crazy.
Yeah, I don't.
Not a fan.
I'm not a fan.
I
of
was
this
really
one.
excited about this one
Me
too.
too.
Well, just chug it and it'll make you feel better.
All right, the Pendle Witch Trials.
Let's go, witches.
Let's go. The Pendle Witch Trials were held and they are one of the most notorious witch trials in English history. It occurred in Lancaster. Is that
Lancaster. Lancaster? Lancaster. It's Lancaster. I swear to God.
Lancashire?
Lancaster.
Lancashire.
Lancaster.
Look that.
I know. Lanch. Is it CH? Or yeah, like
the Shire.
Like
Ooh, should I
Lancashire?
just call it the
Wait.
Lancashire?
Maybe I'm Lancashire. It's a different thing than what I'm thinking of then. Okay, LANC.
Should have looked that up right before I did
I know.
this.
LANC.
ASHIRE. The Shire. I can just call it the Shire. Just went right over her head there.
The Shire. I don't get it.
I know.
Oh.
Lancashire. Lancashire.
I was close with what I
Yeah,
said. No, I
yeah.
said Lancaster. But I thought it was a different. I thought it
You
was a
thought I
different
was saying
place.
something else. Yeah. Lancashire, it was near Pendleton Hill, and it resulted in the deaths of 10 individuals accused of witchcraft. This was a very well documented trial thanks to the clerk of the court, Thomas Potts, who recorded the event. In the 300 years that there were witch trials in England, it is estimated that about 500 people in all were executed. So this one series of trial in the summer of 1612 accounted for 2% of that entire thing.
Dang.
So it's like a very concentrated
Situation.
there. All of Europe, we're familiar with our witch trials, which
Yeah.
I'm debating if we're going to do. We haven't done the Salem witch trials.
I almost feel like would it be that far different from what we've already done though?
I mean, the story itself is very interesting.
Is it wild, weird, or unknown?
It's wild and weird, but I think it's pretty.
Known.
I mean, as known as it can be because a lot of the documentation was destroyed.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to actually do an episode on it because I feel like I like to do the
More unknown.
The more unknown
Yeah,
ones.
I agree
Like
with
when
that.
we did the Connecticut witch trials. That was a fun one.
Never heard about that.
Yeah. So the accused, 12 individuals were initially accused, mostly poor and marginalized women from nearby villages.
Shocker.
The key witnesses of the trial was a 9-year-old girl. 6 of the 12, quote, witches were from 2 rival families. There was the Demdike family and the Chaddix family. And the families were headed by 2 widows. So each family had a widow that was like
And the families
matriarch.
were beefing?
They were beefing.
They were beefing?
Yeah, and they were both like in poverty, like these families. Like they didn't have any social standing or anything like that. So there's going to be a lot of names thrown out here, and I'm going to try my best to keep them straight. Because there's the names and then there's the nicknames that they went by.
Could we just do their nicknames?
I'm going to try.
Okay.
So there's
God.
Elizabeth Southerns, which is Old Demdike.
Okay. So she's one of the matriarchs.
She's the matriarch of the Demdike family.
Okay.
So she'd been known as a witch for over 50 years. And at the time, it was pretty accepted for women to be healers or who practiced, magic with herbs and medicine. It was such a prominent thing that people would pretend to be witches so that they could make money.
Oh, okay.
Elizabeth had a daughter named Elizabeth Device, and her grandchildren were James and Allison Device.
Okay.
The other family was headed by Anne Whittle, or Old Chaddocks. Her daughter was Anne Redfern, and then the others accused were Jane Bullock, her son John I'm sorry, I said that name wrong. Jane Bullcock.
Oh, I need to grow up.
Her son John Bullcock, Alice Nutter, which what a name.
Alice Nutter.
It's that thing your cousin got us.
No, that's what happened. Never mind. Just shut up right now.
There's Catherine Hewitt, Alice Gray, and Jeanette Preston. It is important to note that witches were widely accepted in this time.
Okay.
Like I previously mentioned, and then it wasn't until King James I that things kind of changed.
Okay.
James was really interested in witchcraft, but not in a fun, yay way. He wrote a book called Demonology, and it was a book telling people how to condemn and prosecute supporters and practitioners of witchcraft.
Lovely.
His feelings towards witches and witchcraft is what began the unrest. So that's cool.
So he started it all.
James I married Anne of Denmark, and Denmark had a long history of witch hunts and witch trials. After James visited, he was said to be obsessed with finding and condemning witches. So,
Lovely.
nice old bloke.
He seems like it.
When James was bringing his new wife, Anne, back from Denmark, they were caught in a really bad storm. And James took that as a sign that a witch was trying to sabotage him and his new wife. Obviously.
Every time there's a storm, I feel like that's a witch trying to fuck up my day.
Exactly.
Huh. Suspicious.
Don't be suspicious.
Don't be suspicious.
Don't be suspicious.
Don't be suspicious.
You know who I think of every time I hear that?
My husband?
No.
Oh.
Krista.
Oh,
Our
does
lovely
she say
friend.
it all the
Yes,
time?
that's where I first heard it. Like, I don't even know what I know what it's from, but I don't know what the show is.
I don't.
Is it
I mean, I know.
Parks and Rec? Is that it?
Aren't they like in a graveyard or something?
Yeah.
They're like, I don't know what it's like, but I just know it from TikTok because it's fucking hilarious.
It is very hilarious. Okay, we just had to make a little switchy-brew. This cider was nuts.
It's almost unbearable. I'm just like I'm gonna have to do a last chug of it. You got 3 years faster than me. I've been trying to drink it while you've been talking, and I can't.
So I'm changing to the mango supernova. What? Oh my gosh. Xenon, girl of the 21st century.
The fuck are you talking about?
Oh, there's a song and it has the word supernova in it, and I just got transported back to the year 2000. We're fine.
I feel like it tastes like stomach acid. Like when you acid, like you throw up in your mouth a little bit.
We've had Shillings repost us because of our reviews. I don't think this place is going to repost us.
I don't know that we'll tag them. We just won't.
We just switched to Shillings.
We switched to Shillings to the mango that I was drinking
Supernova.
earlier, but they're 9.1%. So,
Oh, that song, it's going to bother me.
I thought it was going to bother you that the cider was 9.1%, and I was like, it'll just make next episode even better because we're recording a second one after this. So
that does. It tastes like a really strong mimosa.
Yeah. So next week, guys, when you're listening to our next week's episode, just know that we are in that one a 9.1 cider deep when we start recording.
Supernova girl. That's what
She's not even listening to me at this point.
I had to figure it out too. I gotta let you know this. You don't remember this?
Oh yeah. Oh my God. Yes, I do. I don't know it as well as you do, but I remember it. Was it Disney Channel?
Yeah. That's all I could think of when I read the word supernova. You good? Yeah, I'll let you pour the drink.
I'll be better now. Good Lord.
This is a 9%.
9.1, Meg. That's why I decided to have it before, because I just felt like I really needed to take the edge off.
Night. Okay. The king also imposed a law that starting in every justice of the peace in, what did we say? Lancashire?
Lancashire?
I just got reprimanded on the TikTok for how I pronounce Appalachian.
Yeah, we posted a TikTok and some girl was like, why are you guys saying it like that? And then,
Which, no shade. We all say things differently, right?
But then someone else came to our defense and said, that's because they're saying it right. Only people who are not from there say it Appalachian. And I was like, and I only say it because I just say what you say. I don't know what I'm doing.
I say it that way because Jillian Pensavalli was corrected.
Oh, was she?
So
Is
now
that
that's
why?
how she says it.
Well, now we know.
Now we know.
Anyways, gotta love, just piss people off on TikTok. That's a good way to get, views.
I don't think she was pissed off.
Well,
but
not piss people, but it gets people talking.
Yeah.
Like you say something incorrectly, it just people
Like
comment.
apricot.
And then you get your views up.
Perfect.
Apricot. Go. Mango.
So in 1612, every justice of the peace in Lancashire was told to put a list together of all those who refused to attend church or take communion, and that became a criminal offense.
Well, I would be
So
screwed.
things are going well.
Or not.
Or not. This punishment for being found guilty of witchcraft in Scotland was being burned at the stake. This was also the same for much of Europe. In England and Wales, it was execution by hanging. And that's what came over into the U.S. too.
I would take hanging over burned at the stake any day.
100%.
Yeah. Just hope your neck breaks.
And if not, well. Now we go to Lancashire. I'm going to say it differently every single time.
I mean, it's fine. I feel like you guys know what she's saying, right? We all know. We know.
For the most infamous witch trial in English history, Lancashire has a long, dark history. The land itself was not given city status until the 19th.
Okay.
The castle there was still being used as a prison until 2011, almost 400 years after the accused witches were occupants there. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? It was still 13 years ago, it was still a prison.
So, Jesus Christ.
And these witches were held there.
Wow. The place is haunted as fuck.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We got to take a pilgrimage. Actually, I was just talking about a pilgrimage that I think I'm going to take this fall.
Oh, yeah.
That I hope you...
I'm like, what? The one you just said to me off air? Yeah.
Yeah.
That one?
I want to go to the East Coast and go up to Sleepy Hollow and Salem and all that. It's been a tough year.
Yeah, I feel like you do deserve it. I want to go with you. I just have to prioritize
Australia.
Yeah, getting my family to Australia. So I got to figure that out first.
That's not a small feat.
It's not. It's
At
not
all.
cheap either. So priorities.
Yeah. Lancashire hanged the most people in England next to London, which gave the city the nickname the Hanging Town. Now, a little bit of backstory. Elizabeth Ciders, or Demdike.
Okay.
Demdike. Remember that.
Demdike.
She was considered a witch by her local area, and she lived with her daughter Elizabeth Device and her grandchildren, James and Allison, and a girl named Janet. The whole family was believed to have magical powers, which was not uncommon at the time. For a long time, witch hadn't meant evil. It just was a way of life.
Okay.
Or wise woman. Demdike had been accused before of casting spells on neighbors, but it never went anywhere. Because it wasn't really, people were like, oh, she turned me into a newt. But then you get better and it's fine.
Oh, okay. As long as they didn't stay a newt.
Do you know what I was referencing?
Yeah. What movie? Is it Princess Bride? Or no? What is it?
Monty Python.
That's what I every time you quote it and I say a different thing, then I'm like, oh yeah, Monty Python.
That has to be a movie night.
Yes, I agree.
That has to be a movie night.
I will take a fat edible and
yes, please do that.
you don't have to.
Oh, I'm not even going to take a fat edible. I
know,
sit
you
there
don't
with
take
my
any of it.
cider.
I'll sit in my happy place.
I'll be that person that quotes every line of the movie.
Well, then maybe we won't be watching it. Anyways.
This particular story started when Allison Device was traveling or begging on the road. We're not sure if she was just traveling
or begging.
A man named John Law was on the road, and when she passed him, she asked for some pins that he was selling. Pins were used for witchcraft at the time, and so we don't know if he didn't want to give her the pins because he knew she was...
Like you wore a pin?
Yeah, or to pin up your hat, or...
Okay.
Needle, pins.
Yeah, needle pin. Yeah. Okay.
We're not sure if he didn't want to give it to her because he knew she was a witch, and he didn't want her to use it for spells, or if she just wanted them and wasn't going to pay for them, and he wasn't going to give them to her for that. We don't know the reason, but John refused to give them to her or sell them to her. And so Allison decided she was going to curse him.
Fair enough.
Then he had a stroke.
Poor guy.
He survived.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, he
It was a
didn't die.
real roller coaster right there.
Really was. Really.
That was like earlier. You told me something about somebody might be sick and then trailed off into something else. And I'm like, but wait, are they okay? Oh, yeah, they're fine. Okay.
Squirrel. That, Meg, is called ADHD.
I was listening to the rest of what you were saying, but my
you're,
mind
you're still
was
like concerned about this situation.
are they
Is
okay?
everything okay? And I was like, oh yeah, they're fine. Whoops.
Moving on.
Moving on. Squirreled out a little bit.
So this whole situation was brought to the justice of the peace named Justice Noel. Allison confessed. It's Allison, but I might say Allison because that's what I'm used to saying. But Allison confessed that she had asked the devil to, quote, lame John Law. And she truly believed that she had caused John Law to have a stroke.
Uh-oh.
Not doing yourself any favors.
No.
As they continued to question her, it came out that her grandmother, Demdike, and also the Chaddix family were also practicing witchcraft.
So this bitch threw everyone else under the bus? What an asshole.
Right? It gets worse.
Oh, God.
The Device and the Chaddix family had been in a feud for a long time. The accusing of the Chaddix family seemed more like a vengeful thing, which you didn't have to throw your entire family under.
Yeah,
the
why
bus.
would you throw your family and not just theirs?
It was them.
Not that you should throw anyone under the bus saying they're a witch,
I mean,
but I'm
there's
just saying.
a feud.
Yeah, but
The Hatfields and the McCoys, man.
yeah, but you're
Goes
just
deep.
condemning everyone for death. But I guess if you're gonna die, you're like, if I'm dying, you're dying too,
You're all
motherfucker.
going down with me.
Shit.
So the feud started because a member of the Chaddix family broke into the home of the Device family and stole things that would be equivalent to a pound, which would be like $100 today. The father of Allison also blamed an illness that eventually led to his death on old Chaddix, which was Ann Whittle, their matriarch. He blamed her because old Chaddix had threatened the entire Device family if they did not pay them annually for protection. So he's like, hey, I'm getting sick. If I die, it's their fault. In addition, the old Chaddix was blamed for the incident of killing him. She was also blamed for 4 deaths that occurred to other villagers leading up to this incident. So she's been accused of 5 deaths at this point.
Okay, but she's the opposite family from
Yes.
the girl who just.
It's old Chaddix.
Okay, so she was a witch.
She was a witch.
Well,
she
was already being accused of a witch before this girl threw her under the bus.
Yes.
Got it.
The Device family and the Chaddix family.
Yeah, they both were being
Demdike family.
Demdike family.
I don't know why the names are what they are.
Can we like call it column A, column B family?
Writing this was wait, what? Wait, who am I talking about? Wait, I had to go back and like change like I eventually found a family tree so that I could try to keep it straight.
So I just would like just one quick question. Do you remember who your co-host is?
Nah.
Just saying, my ADHD cannot track with like anything. How am I supposed to keep this together? I need
Thoughts and prayers.
Oh God, why did that make me laugh so hard?
I don't know. I feel like this is right in my face.
See, I have mine at like the perfect. It's like right down here. Like angle yours, yeah, and then the microphone up.
Let's try that.
Yeah,
Do I
that's
sound good?
that's way better sound wise.
Okay.
Way better.
Cool. So James Device, who was old Demdike's grandson and Allison's brother, confessed that Allison had also at one point cursed a local child, and that Elizabeth, old Demdike's mother, I'm going to say that whole thing over again. Your eyes.
Okay.
James Device, who is old Demdike's grandson and Allison's brother,
Okay.
was questioned, and he said that Allison had also at one point cursed a local child, and that Elizabeth, his mother and old Demdike's daughter, claimed that old Demdike had marks on her body known as your favorite, witch's teats.
She had the teats.
She had the teats.
She had the teats. But wait, he was in their family, and
He was in their family
and accusing them.
Yes, because of what Allison had said, they brought in the whole family to question him
And then he threw him under the bus.
again.
What the fuck is wrong with
this
these
family
people?
is
Are they being
tightly bound.
tortured, or like is there a reason they would?
I didn't
throw
say
them under the
anything
bus?
about that. It does later on about like, coercing things, but
Yeah.
not in this situation.
But they found a teats.
They found the
That's
teats.
what I heard.
Yes.
They found some teats.
So, what do you remember what a witch's teat is for, Raina?
It's for the devil to suckle on.
Suckle. Yep. Your favorite word.
I don't like it.
So, because the devil had suckled so much from old Demdike,
Was a saggy teat. No. Just guessing.
sometimes as I'm writing this, I just know certain keywords that I have to put in for you.
Because you know that it will
And
just bring random
that's-
shit out of my mouth.
That's one of them. No, because the devil was said to suckle so much from old Demdike's teat, she went insane.
Well, if you've ever breastfed a child, I feel like that adds up.
Try 4. 3.
I just didn't have the supply. She was not a milker, guys. She was not a milker. I was starving my children to death.
Oh, over here she was.
You got your Emerson's got some milk in them. Do you know that when I was, who knows, we'll leave this. When I was like, couldn't breastfeed anymore, my father-in-law told me that if I was a cow, they would have took me out to the pasture and shot me because I wasn't a good milker. And I was like, first baby, I was like struggling mentally. And like, you know, all I wanted to do was breastfeed my child and I couldn't.
Who says that?
Texas dad. And I was like, cool. Thank you. Like, awesome. It was almost as bad as when I was giving birth and him and his stepmom were talking about calf pulling while I was pushing out a baby. And that was, I don't know which things were worse.
I'm sorry, what?
Like pulling a calf when it gets stuck inside the mommy.
Who was talking about this?
Tex and his stepmom while I was pushing for 2.5 hours.
Good God.
Because to pull a calf, you have to like, it gets stuck and you got to like tie a chain around their legs and then you pull it or you put it on the back of like a 4-wheeler or a truck and pull it. Yeah. And they were comparing me pushing out a baby to that. So it was a good day for me.
Yeah, you had more.
But I left Australia.
Oh my God.
I wonder why.
All I can think of is there's teachers that listen to
Hello to our children's teachers. I don't care.
The more you know.
The more you know. I feel like they all just stare at me when I go into the school too. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't want to think about anybody listening to this.
It's time to let our freak flags fly, man.
I mean, I already let it fly in because I don't care. You're the one who cares because you work there, which I get. For me, I'm kind of like, meh. Meh. A teacher asked Kinley if she was allowed to do something and then apparently was like, well, I listened to your mom's podcast, so I don't think she would care. And I was like, I mean, accurate, but
True.
yeah.
True. Allison also accused Chaddix's daughter, Anne Redfern, of witchcraft. This led the judge to be very excited.
Oh, was he?
Oh, yeah. It's like, whoa, there's witches.
Until he found out that they put his penis in a box.
I think that's an American thing. I don't think
it's an American thing.
The English, you know, they're a little proper. And then there's us Yankees over here that just in the box you go.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Bye-bye.
How do they move again?
Guys, you only get to see my penis movement if you watch us on the YouTubes.
I don't know why it makes me laugh for the first time. So we're referring to the Connecticut witch trials when it was believed that the witches within these trials would take a man's penis, put it in a box, and feed it.
And they would keep it. They
keep
would like
it.
keep
It was like
So-
a pet.
Yeah. And
Oats and corn.
oats and corn. But like, there's so many questions that we have. Like, how did the men come to the conclusion that the women were stealing their penises? Like, how?
And if that were true, they would have left them alone.
Right. That is the thing. If that were true, the men would be like
if we had that power
to just steal their penis.
we would be running the world.
Could you imagine? You get pulled over by a cop and be like, I'm a witch. They'd be like, and I will leave you be.
Good day, ma'am.
Good day, madam. I hope your third teat is doing well.
I feel like we get the most weird on these witch episodes.
I know why. It's because I love the witches.
I know.
Because we are witches. Well, kind of.
mean,
More or less.
Not like these
No,
ones.
and I don't put people's penises in a box, for the record.
We would hope.
No, do not.
Wow.
Little naked mole rat. Okay, and now I'm done. Give me an inch, I go a mile. We know this.
No.
We know this.
So the judge decided that he was going to question old Demdike and old Chaddix and Anne Redfern, Chaddix's daughter. Demdike and Chaddix were both in their 80s at this point and blind.
I don't know why it makes it better. Sorry.
But they both confessed that they indeed sold their souls to the devil.
And that they are
Witches.
witches.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why would you sell your soul to the devil with nothing in return?
Well, you wouldn't. Gotta have something.
You got to have something.
Shit. So they're doing dark magic.
I would have asked for my sight back, but
Maybe they were just happy with what they got.
nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
And Chaddox's daughter was said to create clay figures, which could be used to create a golem. Do you know what a golem is?
My precious. Do it. Do you love how mine was just like not even close? Golem. My precious.
Gotta come from the throat.
Golem. My precious. My precious.
That wasn't good.
My
My own, my precious.
Did I do it? I did it.
But no, that's not the golem we're talking about. A golem is when you create something from a clay figure and it turns into a creature that you can control.
Oh,
That's what a
like a
golem
voodoo
is.
doll.
Yeah, but you make it out of clay and then it turns into a creature. So Anne was found to be making golems, and the judge decided to detain Alison, Anne, Old Demdike, and Old Chaddox, and they were to be held until a trial could happen. They were held at the Lancashire blah, 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 castle. This could have been the end, but Elizabeth Device, who was Alison's mother and Demdike's daughter, organized a meeting with the townspeople to gain sympathy for her family being in prison. Elizabeth wanted to feed those in attendance, so she had her son, James, who's Alison's brother, steal a neighbor's sheep and prepare it for the meal.
That can't go well.
So now she was on the hook.
Because she stole a sheep.
Yep. And so the judge looked into things more, and he ended up bringing in the people who were in attendance of this shindig, and he questioned them and found that they were all witches.
Everyone was a witch?
Everyone's a witch. You're a witch, and you're a witch.
You're a witch.
We're
You're
a
a witch. You're a witch. And she was a sheep fancier.
That's still one of my favorite episodes. Yuletide Monsters.
I know.
Can't wait till Yuletide Monsters 2. I got a book. Like, I'm already making notes in this book. It's going to be
I can't wait
fabulous.
to ruin Christmas again.
That was so much fun. The spooky side of the holidays. So, those in were attendance. So there was Elizabeth Device, James Device, Alice Nutter, Catherine Hewitt, John Bulcock, his mother, Alice Gray, and Jeanette Preston. Jeanette Preston lived across the border in Yorkshire, so she was sent there for her trial. She was found guilty and hanged on July 29th. Alice Nutter was a different case because everyone considered her a peasant. While everyone else was considered a peasant, Alice was from a wealthy family.
Okay.
She was a recent widow, which means she owned her own land, and it was said that she was probably in the wrong place at the wrong time. They thought that maybe she was on her way to a different meeting and got within the crowd.
Yeah.
She stated nothing at the trial except that she was not guilty. August 17th and 19th, the trials were held in Lancashire, England. Is it Lancaster? Did we just say Lancaster?
No, that was what I said before, and we decided that wasn't right. It's Lancashire.
The Pendle Witches were tried in a group that also included the Salisbury Witches, which was James Southworth, Jeanette Brierley, and Ellen Brierley. The charges against them included child murder and cannibalism. Margaret Pearson, the so-called Pandham Witch, faced her third trial for witchcraft, this time for killing a horse. And Isabel Robbie from the town of Whittle was accused of using witchcraft to cause sickness.
So cannibalism.
Yeah, we're just going to throw that right in there and breathe right past it.
Okay. Maybe they should be hanged. I don't know. I'm not sure.
I mean, you start putting the lotion on the skin, maybe you should. Old Demdike never made it to trial. She was old, frail, and when she was in the dungeons awaiting trial, she passed away.
Oh. Well.
The Device family, Elizabeth, James, and Alison, also had another family member, their 9-year-old sister, Elizabeth's daughter, named Janet Device.
Damn it, Janet.
Normally, someone so young would have been kept out of things, but because of the new rules set by King James about witches, she was asked to give evidence against her mother, brother, and sister. And she did.
That's sad.
She started off giving reasons why the family dealt within witchcraft, and this is a quote from her, 9 years old. We have a 9-year-old.
Yeah.
My mother is a witch, and that I know to be true. I have seen her spirit in the likeness of a brown dog, which she calls Ball. The dog did ask what she would have him do, and she answered that she would have him help her kill. As she accused her mother, Elizabeth burst into tears and had to be removed from the courtroom as she screamed and cursed her 9-year-old daughter.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's sad.
Yeah.
Really sad.
That's
all around.
awful. But also, it's like, why would the 9-year-old throw mom under the bus?
Right. Like there's
Something's going on there. Or she's 9 years old and she knew enough to keep herself
safe. But then
maybe it was a better situation.
But her mom reacting that way makes you think that, like as a mother, you'd be happy your child was safe. But if they're throwing you under the bus.
But your child, a healthy, loved child wouldn't do that.
1,000%.
You know what I mean?
Unless it was like a trained, like if this happens, then you're going to say,
right.
Yep, then you're going to.
Like, we don't know the situation.
Yeah, but definitely, no, you're right. It sounds like maybe there was not good motherhood at home.
Something,
possibly.
Right? James also accused his mother of making clay figures, and was also accused of witchcraft by his younger sister, Janet. Allison was proud to be accused. She fully believed in her powers, and she knew that she could do witchcraft.
Good for her.
They brought John Law, who had the stroke, into the room, and Allison fell to her knees, confessed to causing his stroke, and burst into tears. She asked for his forgiveness for harming him, but still never denied that she was a practitioner of witchcraft. So here's the outcomes of everybody accused. Jeanette Preston was tried in Yorkshire. She was charged with murder by witchcraft of a local landowner. She pleaded not guilty. She had been tried before for murdering a child of witchcraft and had been found not guilty. The worst evidence against her this time was that she was brought to the dead body of the landowner she was accused of killing by witchcraft, and his body was said to bleed fresh blood in her presence.
Bullshit.
She was found guilty and sentenced to death by hanging, which happened July 29th. Let me be clear. I say these names and these dates for a reason, because these are victims.
Yeah.
And I would rather us know their names than King James or whoever the heck the justice of the peace was.
Yep.
Anne Whittle, who was Chaddock's, old Chaddock's, was accused of the murder of Robert Nutter. She pleaded not guilty. However, under torture, she had confessed, which was used in court. Which we've seen that so many times.
And we know about how they would torture them is like horrific. Like
they would keep them awake for so long. They would, pretty much waterboard them. There was so many different ways that they would gain confessions. Like the Magnus Maleficarum was the book that just told you
what to do.
Ugh. Malus Maleficarum.
I think Malus Maleficarum.
Yeah, I think that was it. A witness who had lived with the Chaddock's family said that Robert Nutter never trusted old Chaddock's, and at one point accused her of turning his beer sour.
That bitch.
Which was something that witches would do.
Those witches.
Chaddock's broke down and admitted her guilt. She called out to God to forgive her and asked judges to have mercy on her daughter, Anne Redfern. Elizabeth Device was accused of murdering James Robinson, John Robinson, and had help from Allison Nutter and Demdike. See how it's all coming together? They all were said to murder Henry Mitten. Elizabeth said that she was innocent. This is when her daughter, Jeanette, was brought in and testified against her mother, saying that she was a witch. That's when the 9-year-old was brought in and said, nope, she is a witch.
Got it.
And she did these things. All three were sentenced to death and hanged on August 20th, minus Demdike, who died in prison. James Device was accused of murdering Anne Townley and John Duckworth by witchcraft. So what does that mean by witchcraft? They died in some way and they said it was you?
Apparently.
They were sick or they got in an accident or something and they said, oh, you must have done it.
I mean, I feel like that's the only way that it makes sense.
Right, because it's not like you ran over him with your cart.
Right.
Or, you
they died.
them.
I think they died mysteriously, which back then I'm sure could have been, like we said, a stroke, a heart attack, a brain aneurysm, random, you're
plague.
Fine. Yeah, you're
not
fine.
Really,
no,
but.
but you're fine 1 minute, you're dead the next.
Right.
And I'm sure for them, finding a plausible cause could sometimes.
Witchcraft.
you're a witch.
Witchcraft.
The bleeding fresh blood from that one lady is like, no, what the fuck?
Yeah. James pled not guilty, but was again confessed under torture. So we're getting coerced confessions, which is the norm. That, along with his younger sister saying that he practiced magic, was enough to condemn him. He was hanged August 20th, 1612. Anne Redfern, which was Chattox's daughter, was charged with the murder of Robert Nutter, along with her mother. The evidence was insufficient, and she was found not guilty.
Oh.
However, don't get your hopes up.
No.
The next day, she was tried for the murder of Nutter's father, Christopher. She pled not guilty, but because of Demdike's statement that she had made the golems, she was found guilty and hanged August 20th.
Jesus.
Jane and her son, John Bulcock. What a name, man.
What a name. What a name.
So they were mother and son. They were accused of murder by witchcraft of Jeanette Dean. They both denied that they were even at the meeting that Elizabeth had held, but Jeanette Device said that they were. The little girl said that they were, and said John was the one who helped cook up the stolen sheep that was used to feed everyone. So they were both found guilty and hanged August 20th, 1612. Alice Nutter, even though she was wealthy, she was not quite off the hook. We talked about how she may have been going to another meeting to get together, you know, instead of going to Elizabeth's. All she stated that she was not guilty. She was accused of murder by witchcraft of Henry Mitten with Demdike and Elizabeth Device. Now, her family was also Catholic, and it was a bad thing to be Catholic at this point.
Oh.
So it was rumored that she was on her way to a secret Catholic service.
So it was like what's the lesser of two evils?
So she refused to say, because then she would have incriminated the whole Catholic community and the attendees that there was a service going on. So since her family was known as being Catholic, and she had two family members executed for being Jesuit priests, which were, you know, within the Catholic Church, she was found guilty and hanged on August 12th. Catherine Hewitt was charged with the murder by witchcraft of Anne Foles. She was in attendance of Elizabeth's meeting with Alice Gray. James Device told authorities that Hewitt and Gray told them all at the meeting that they had killed a young person named the Anne Folds, and Jeanette Device also agreed that this had happened. The little girl said, yeah, that happened. Catherine Hewitt was found guilty and hanged August 20th.
This little girl had a lot of say in who lived and who died.
She did. Alice Gray, who was accused with Catherine, said she was at the meeting but was not guilty. So she was found not guilty and freed. That one's for real. I'm not gonna hit you with another one.
Okay. You never know.
The way you were looking at me.
I'm waiting
like,
for it. I don't trust it.
Lastly, Allison Device, who started this whole thing by allegedly cursing John Law, which led him to have a stroke, was charged with the offense of causing harm by witchcraft. She was found guilty and hanged August 20th. So,
I mean, I'm just gonna say, I have a 9-year-old.
I do too.
I love them. I'm not trusting anything that comes out of their mouth.
And I think at the time they wouldn't either, but they were just so...
They're on a witch hunt.
They were literally on a witch hunt.
I mean, but also then it does sound like some people like were convinced that they are witches, were witches. Like, so there is that. Like
But still,
like,
how do you...
Not that they should have been hung for anything. They weren't doing anything,
I think this really highlights the dangers of like religious fervor and mob mentality and the lack of fair trials, honestly.
Weird. It's like we don't deal with that at all today, but we do.
I think this is a good reminder of the vulnerability of like marginalized groups.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's the devastating consequences of unchecked power.
Yeah. Well, that's happened all over. We are in the era of...
It still happens.
Well, we're in the age of Aquarius right now, and...
This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. You're cutting that?
No, I'm going to let you sing. We know I do not have the vocals, but...
Are we really in the age of Aquarius?
We are. Did you not know that?
No.
Yeah, we're in the age of Aquarius right now. And what they're
Why have we not made a TikTok with that song? That is like the best song of all time.
I have no idea. Maybe we will.
Flowy.
We need to now.
Flowy draping.
Clothes, fabrics. I have all of the things. But it is what is happening right now in our society is we've been on like I think it's like a 16-year, I can't remember what it is, rotation of where the rise to power has been a lot for men and then a lot for very like superficial surface level. So like a lot of the celebrities, it's all about looks. It's about like all this stuff.
When has the rise for power ever been for women?
Well, it's flipping right now. Apparently, no, that's what they're saying is that this next phase that we're going through is where we're going to watch the takedown of a ton of celebrities, which it's starting to happen right now. What's going on in our news right now is wild.
I try not to pay attention.
Well, I'm on TikTok. That's my news. That's where I see it. So that's where I get it from. But there's a lot of shit going down right now, and it is all these people who are big power people. It's supposedly going to start to flip, and that we're going to become a more, well, women are going to.
Are we going to start putting penises in a box?
I mean, I'm down.
Is that what we're going to do?
Yeah, but I just don't want to we got to figure out how to do it without like doing it.
And we got to get a lot of oat and corn.
A lot of oat and corn.
I mean, I have a garden.
I have a lot of shoe boxes. We'll just put them in, shoebox.
You have a really big closet. We could like put racks in there.
So then we just got to figure out how we just like get them there because I don't want to have anything to do with them once they're there. Just like a hole to like shove the food in. I don't even want to see them. But then the boxes will just be sitting on my shelf like.
I just hit my mic too much. Oh my God. Okay. Are you flipping me off there?
No, I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to. I'm holding a tear duct. Twas an accidental flip off.
So these trials continue to be studied by historians, scholars, and those interested in social justice and human rights. It's a fascinating case when you think about all the intricacies and...
I mean, just a lot of people took each other down and then it's sad. Sad.
So the events to mark the 400th anniversary of the trials in 2012, including an exhibition called A Wonderful Discovery, Lancashire Witches 2000. It was at Gawthorpe Hall in Lancashire County Council. The Fate of Chattox is a piece by artist David Lloyd Mostyn, it's a musician. He wrote a clarinet and piano piece to kind of bring the whole events together in a musical number, which would be really fun to listen to.
You know, I used to play the clarinet.
Did you?
That was my first instrument in band. Aww. And then I switched to drums because I sucked.
Adorable.
I was not good at the clarinet.
Thinking about getting my second daughter a drum set, and I don't know if there's something wrong with me. I want to get her one with the headphones.
I think that's smart. When I was a kid, that was not a thing. I had a full-on like pearl drum set in my room, and I would, just go bananas.
It's partially because I want to play it because I love playing the drums.
See, I didn't, and I have no desire to ever again. I would always hit my hand. I sucked. I wasn't very good. I didn't say I was good. I just did.
I mean, it's okay.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, this gift for my daughter might be personal.
Yeah, that's okay. Those are allowed.
A life-size statue of Alice Nutter by sculptor David Palmer was unveiled in her home village. In August, a world record for the largest group dressed as witches was set by 482 people who walked up Pendle Hill, on which the date had been installed in a 400-foot tall piece of art.
Very cool.
Yeah. They just wanted to celebrate... have a lighthearted celebration of injustice and oppression.
Yep.
If you want to delve deeper into these trials, there's so many books. There's The Wonderful Discovery of Witches, like we talked about, Pendle Witches, The Witches by Ronald Hunton. And you can go to the historic UK Lancaster City Council. There's also a documentary, which I think we should watch, the chilling true story of the Pendle Witch Trials on the YouTubes.
I'll watch it with you. That sounds fun.
I really have a passion for the witch trials.
It's because you were a witch.
I just think it's fascinating.
Yeah.
Because it was, when you boil it down, they're not witches.
No, I think that's what it comes to. That is what it comes
down
to. Is like they're
outliers.
Yeah. Or people who are just not as wealthy. They're like, there's so many things. Or people who are like truly like healers ahead of their time in medicine. Like there's so many things. They used herbs to heal, and now you're a witch.
Yeah.
Which is just,
yeah.
I mean, but that's the same now.
I really almost just want to call it a pilgrimage to Salem.
Yeah.
And just to see, and to Connecticut, and to all these places, which it's not Salem that it actually happened, but
Well, if we're near my family, we have a place to stay in Connecticut, but I don't know how big. I don't know how far away things are.
I mean, it's closer than it would be here, but
Probably too far.
I actually looked it up today because this pilgrimage that I want to take, going to
But we would want to
Sleepy
stay
Hollow
in a haunted
first.
hotel.
Yeah. I want to go. I want to fly into New York. I want to see family.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go up to Sleepy Hollow.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go. It's 3 hours to Salem.
Mm-hmm.
And then I want to go down to the Lizzie Borden house.
Okay. I mean, that sounds like fun.
Yeah.
We'll see. Let's see if we can make it work.
My pilgrimage. Because I've had a rough year, Raina.
If I can make it work, I'll make it work, but I got to see if I can make it work first.
I'm going whether you go or not.
By yourself?
Yeah. I'll go by myself.
Psh,
I got family there.
I know, but I want to go.
I'll make phlegm cakes go with me.
Who the fuck is phlegm cakes?
Emily.
Oh.
I have no idea why. Honestly, I've been calling her phlegm cakes for like 20 years, and her and I discussed this. I don't know where it came from.
Yeah, but that's like what happens when you have a best friend and you just like make up names, and then all of a sudden it
No
happens.
idea.
Yeah.
No idea.
These things. Well, we'll see. We'll see if we can make it work. We got to.
But I have to go to Sleepy Hollow.
I mean, I don't care about Sleepy Hollow. I would love to see the Lizzie Borden house.
Yeah.
I would like to see I would like to see it. It's that to me is not like a big like Sleepy Hollow would be cool to see, but I'm not like dying for it.
I have a cat named Ichabod.
I know that's your thing.
I
get it. But
well,
I
I
would love to see
I grew up over there.
Yeah.
And I remember going to Sleepy Hollow around Halloween time because they
Yeah.
would have these big festivals.
Which would just be insane. And I think it'd be really cool. I'm in. Just have to like
Maybe we can. There's like all sorts of stuff there, and there's this person that dresses up like the headless horseman and like runs around town on a horse.
Yeah.
Maybe because of our podcasting status. I don't know. We can
What,
get
are you
in
gonna
on
ride the
that.
horse?
Yeah, I want to ride the horse.
You want Meg would like to be the headless horseman, everybody.
Just for a minute.
I hope so. I hope that works out for you.
I do too. You do too.
But it sounds like a good time. I would love to see the Lizzie Borden house. That one, Liz, would be a fun time.
And we have our lovely Sisters Brew friends out
I know,
there
I
that
was
would
thinking
meet
that too.
us.
Yep. All right. Well, we'll see what we can do about
We'll
that.
see.
Yeah. All right, you guys. Well, you know where you can find us on all of the social medias.
Lunatic Soup podcast on all the things.
And, like we said before, if you want to watch us on YouTube, here we are, like your own personal TV show.
You can see the hand flap.
A hand flap.
That when the penis is in the box, that hand flap. I don't know why it looks so funny when you do it. It just kills
Do I have a
me.
loose wrist? I don't know.
I don't know, but it's like, well,
Anyways, I thank you guys for lasting with us through the witch trials. Why do witch trials go so awry every time?
every time.
But it's fun. I like to go awry.
I'm convinced that I was burned at the stake or hanged as a witch in a past life.
I thought you already knew that, like you were told that.
I was told that.
Yeah.
But
Okay. Well.
before I believed in any of this, I was told that by
Yeah.
a
Well,
person.
I believe that I was too. So you know what? That's why it's fun. And that's why we can say I strongly believe that I was one of the witches who kept a dick in a box, even though I don't
I mean, that
actually think
tracks.
that they did, because it doesn't make sense how they would even. Doesn't
Well, the
add up.
craziest thing is I married somebody who is a direct descendant of one of the accusers in the Salem witch trials.
Well, that adds up in a lot of ways.
So my children are these like
Half breeds.
muggles.
They're not muggles because they're half breeds.
What's the difference? I'm sorry. I am not as well versed. You want to go to town on some Lord of the Rings?
She's gonna school me in Lord of the Rings, but Harry Potter, you're gonna say it wrong. And I didn't even watch that much Harry Potter or read. I've read one book.
Oh, wait. A muggle is just a human who has powers.
Yep, and a half blood, I think is what it is. Half blood. Or maybe half breed, half blood. I don't know. Ask where Mr. Also, by the way, you guys, this is the
Every
reason why
time.
Mr. Boo Boo is called Mr. Boo Boo, is because the first episode we ever recorded, we made a huge boo boo.
You done messed up, AA Ron.
Messed up, and he came in and he told us we made a huge boo boo. Well, you know where to find us. Thank you guys for tuning in, like always, and
We'll see you next week. Remember, in this crazy world.
it's good to be a lunatic.
Bye.
Bye.